Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I want to talk a bit about Anthony Yarde because, as you know, or you may know, you may have read, there's a strong possibility that Yarde will fight Joshua Buatsi in a domestic dust-up. I don't think the T's have been crossed and the I's have been dotted, so I'm not really going to talk about that, concentrate on that. But it's a good matchup. It is a good matchup. Who do I think will win? I'm not going to go there yet, but you've probably got an idea in your head of who you think will win. So have I. Kind of a, like a first reaction. But I want to talk about Yarde's career because I think it has been handled absolutely appallingly. Now, Yarde is a talented guy. He's got good punch power. He's very athletic, good speed, good footwork and all the rest of it. But I just think his career it's been terribly handled, really, really badly. I mean, the guy turned pro in 2015, which is, almost 9 years ago. I think it was May 2015. And he racked up a ton of victories against complete non-entities. A couple like Walter Siqueira had pretty glossy records, 21-4. And there's a guy called Sek, I think, S-E-K. I don't know, I can't remember his first name. He had like 27-3 or something. And so, you got these guys and they've got kind of glossy-ish records, but they're nowhere near world class. And then he jumps in with a past his best Sergei Kovalev, completely unprepared, went over to Russia, so fair play to him. Almost had Kovalev out of there in the 6th round, emptied the tank, as Tunde Ajayi, his trainer and manager, famously told him to do. And then he just ran out of steam and got knocked out with a jab through exhaustion more than anything. So completely unprepared, never been anywhere near 12 rounds. I don't think he'd been beyond 7 rounds when he fought Kovalev, and he's fighting a 12-rounder against a guy who, although he was past his best, Kovalev, nevertheless, he was still a hard hitter and had lots of experience and so on. And even then, he almost got him out of there. So it was a gallant performance, but ultimately a losing one. He got knocked out. So he comes back, loses to Lyndon Arthur, beats Lyndon Arthur in the rematch, and a couple of fights later, again against complete non-entities, he's fighting Artur Beterbiev, and he gives a good account of himself. Again, he fights well, very courageously, gives Beterbiev a lot of problems, but gets knocked out in the 8th round. So the only 2 world-class fighters he's faced, he's been knocked out by. Kovalev, dangerous but past his best. Beterbiev, pushing 40, but still a very, very good fighter, well preserved and all the rest of it. They both knocked him out. And you have to ask, what has he done, Yarde? Who has he faced that is world class? I mean, I would say Lyndon Arthur's European level, a couple of the others, maybe you could dig them out and say they were fringe European level. This is not the way you conduct a career. This is not the way you maximize a talent or you give your fighter the best chance to win a world title and keep it and make lots and lots of money. And people will say, yeah, but he got well paid for, Beterbiev and Kovalev. He got good money. I'm sure he did. Good luck to the guy. I've got nothing against fighters making money. It is, after all, prize fighting. But it's kind of, the short deal. It's kind of the short-sighted deal. If you want to play the long game and rack up, a legacy, belts, victories over good men, you get a belt, you keep it, you unify, unifications, and maybe even an undisputed fight. The money will come. You'll get millions and millions, much more than you've earned. So I really think that Yarde he's 31, 32, I think now, 32. And just to take this a stage further, was it Tunde Ajayi was interviewed recently? It might have been Ajayi, I think it was. And he was saying that he'd discussed moving to cruiserweight, Yarde moving to cruiserweight. Well, talk about leaving food on the table. You haven't won anything at light heavyweight yet. And yeah, he's a big light heavy, big for 175, no doubt about it. But he'd be small for modern day cruiserweights, because a lot of the modern day cruiserweights boil themselves down. Yarde to the limit. Yarde would be moving up. And who's he going to fight at cruiser? Who's the main man at cruiser? Jaya Patai. Who would you pick over Jaya Patai fighting Anthony Yarde? Who do you think is going to win? Who would you think would be the red-hot favourite? I know who I think would be the red-hot favourite. And there are other cruisers around as well. obviously we've got a lot of domestic level cruisers. We've got Crispin and Smith, Riakporhe, they're fighting. Even a couple of ones that have been beaten up by Opataya, Elisaro and Jordan Thompson. They're going to come back down at domestic level, and maybe, all right, he could face them. But at 32, he should be, if he's got the ability, and I think he's got the raw materials, he should be, a world champ holding a belt, making lots of money. Why has he never fought for the British? Why has he never fought for the Commonwealth, the EBU? What was wrong with building it up sensibly? He tried to cut corners. He tried to take the shortcut. And to me, that's no good. That's just not the way to conduct your career. So I'm very disappointed. And this is not an anti-Anthony Yarde video. I like Yarde. I like watching him. He's exciting. He's a good fighter. But he frustrates me so much because of this nonsense. And the quality of the opposition is so bad. So bad normally. We just don't get to see what he's capable of. Neither does he, more to the point. So, yeah, these are my thoughts on Anthony Yarde. You tell me what you think. How do you think his career's been handled? Do you think at 32 he can still make a big splash at world level? Because to me, he hasn't even proved that he is world level. Okay, he's gone in against two world level fighters and he's got knocked out by both and he's given a good account of himself. But so what? Does that mean you're world level? I don't think so. I think you've got to beat world-class opponents to call yourself world level. You've got to beat top 12 opponents, top 10 opponents, at least top 15. So what do you think of Yarde? How do you think his career's gone? Who do you think he should fight next? Well, it's going to be Buatsi, supposedly. We think it's going to be Buatsi next. And that's not a gimme. Buatsi's perfectly capable of beating Yarde. I don't know, the jury's out for me as to who I'd make favourite, but wouldn't remotely surprise me if Buatsi beat Yarde, or vice versa. So let me know what you think. Comments below. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button as well. Always helps us out. And spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Have a good weekend. Take care. Catch you later. Bye for now.